Should you have your employees sign an employment contract when they start? Now, I'm not talking about a non-competition agreement or a non-solicitation agreement, but you might think about what about other aspects of the relationship? Maybe a confidentiality agreement, maybe some other requirements of the job. Should you have your employees sign an employment contract? A lot of business owners think they should, but they're dead wrong, and I'll explain why. Now, the thought process goes like this. If I want to expect something from my employees, and they're expecting something from me, that is essentially a contract. We're both giving something. And if you don't give something to me, or I don't give something to you, then you can leave. Now, the vast majority of the time, well over 99%, you should not have an employment contract. What are the exceptions? Well, maybe for a highly paid executive, or a person you want to commit to a certain number of years of employment, or a non-solicitation agreement or non-compete agreement if those are allowed in your jurisdiction. So why is it that you should never have an employment contract signed, or virtually never? Well, here's the problem. Typically what you're agreeing to is pay the employee the wages. And the employee then is being asked by you to do certain things. Let's say it's a list of things that are expected. Maybe to show up on time, and you can have these breaks at these times, etc. Well, the problem is, in order to amend a contract, both parties have to agree to it. So do you want to have to go to your employees 6 months in or a year in and say, hey, we're going to change some policies here. We're going to change an approach. Would you agree to amend your employment contract? That's a difficult situation. It's an uncomfortable conversation. And it can entirely be avoided. And here's how. You can have policies, not a contract, with all the rules that your employees need to follow. And then you can update those policies from time to time without your employees having to agree and enter a new contract. Contracts need both parties to agree to the change. Policies do not. Employers can simply modify their employment policies over time. They need to communicate those policies to the employees. The typical best practice is have the employees acknowledge in writing that they received them. But the employee doesn't have to agree to them. They are bound to the new policy and procedure. So, if you as a business owner want to avoid having to negotiate amending a contract as you change your policies and procedures and approaches over time, don't use a contract for that relationship. Use policies and procedures. That might be in the form of an employee handbook. It may have a confidentiality clause. Now, there is something to keep in mind. If you want some consequence for an employee after they depart, it's not enough usually to have an employee handbook or a policy or procedure, because the consequence of violating a policy or procedure is they get fired. But if you want a consequence after they've already left, obviously firing isn't enough. So there you may want the option to sue for breach of contract. But for most employment relationships, the company isn't concerned about having to sue an employee afterwards. Let's face it, most employees can file bankruptcy and get rid of any lawsuit judgment that they have against them anyway, for breach of contract at least. So it's usually not worth the money to sue employees for breaches of contract after they depart. So the takeaway here is, for the vast number of employees, the best practice is not to have a contract when they start, but rather to use policies and procedures which you can update over time, and you deliver those to the employee and they acknowledge receipt in writing. Now you might be wondering, what are best practices related to employment policies and procedures? What do the best companies do? What are common mistakes made by companies? If that's a topic that interests you, you have a few options. You can like this video, so that YouTube delivers more videos like it to you. You can subscribe, and that way you will receive a notice when I produce other videos on this topic. And you can go to aaronhall.com/free. And when you sign up there, you will get free tips, videos, and resources on how to implement best practices in your company. My hope is to help people like me when I was struggling to grow a new business years ago with best practices, insights from experts, and techniques that will help you build a great company that treats other people fairly, allows you to do good in the world, and live the best version of yourself. I'm Aaron Hall. I'm an attorney for business owners and entrepreneurial companies.